To the left is, of course, the Audi S3. To the right, a Volkswagen Jetta GLI Autobahn Edition. These are both the top trim levels of each respective car. This being the best A3 you can buy, and this being the best Volkswagen Jetta you can buy. But the big difference is the cost. This car is over $50,000 when new. This one is just around $25,000 when new. So the question remains, is the Audi worth twice the price? Now I know what you're thinking. He's going to actually compare an Audi S3 to a Jetta. And yes, I am. Both of these cars have 2-liter turbocharged engines. Both of them have dual clutch automatic transmissions. Both of them come with sunroofs. Both of them come with pretty nice interiors, leather upholstery, Bluetooth, push button start, all sorts of different things that you can option. But this one costs twice as much. We're gonna find out why, and we're gonna see whether it's worth the difference. Let's start with the Jetta GLI. Most of you guys know this as my money pit Jetta GLI. This car is pretty much functional at this point, and I just use that word functional. Not everything works on it, but we're basing it car for car. I'm going to keep in mind, of course, the major differences, and I just will kind of keep quiet about what's not the best on this specific Jetta. But it is a Jetta, and it is not just a Jetta, it's a Jetta GLI Autobahn Edition. With the Jetta GLI, you basically get a GTI in the shape of a Jetta with the trunk, of course. The GTI being the hot hatch that has become probably the best hot hatch of all times. Now, this car comes with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It makes 200 horsepower and a little bit over 200 foot-pounds of torque. It feels really good. We'll find out about that in a minute. But the other thing that this Jetta comes with that's kind of surprising is a dual clutch automatic transmission in a Jetta that's merely $25,000. Now this car being an Autobahn Edition just basically checks the box on almost everything. This car has leatherette interior. I don't think it's quite leather. It's got 18-inch alloy wheels, touchscreen, Bluetooth stereo, pretty much everything you can outfit a Jetta with. A sunroof, I think, is included with that. This is actually a really nice car. It's a car I would have totally killed for my first car. But of course, I think you guys want to know how it drives, and then we'll compare how this car drives with the Audi S3. So we're in the 2013 Jetta GLI. Let's not think about the fact that it's extremely dirty. Let's not think about the fact that I had to tuck in this sunshade wire because it's not even installed, and you guys didn't see that, thank God. And you just hear the change moving. This car really is the money pit. Let's not think about the fact that the glove box is missing. Let's think about the fact that this is a turbocharged 4-cylinder that really moves when you get on it. I remember when I first got my Mark V GTI, and I thought the car was a rocket ship. I think that this car, as a first car, is like the epitome of first cars. It's somewhat reliable, it's very fun to drive, it's very economical when it comes to gas, and overall it's got good room, and it's a decent sized car, and it has good safety ratings too, right? But first car, not first car, what we're here to find out is the S3 worth 2 times the price that this car is? So looking around, this car is actually really nice. Leather wrapped sports steering wheel with a flat bottom. It also has a touchscreen radio that has Bluetooth. This specific one does not have push button start, but of course all the new MK7 GLIs do have the push button start. It even has dual zone climate control. It has the multi-function trip computer in the center. This one has a sunroof. It really has a lot of awesome features. One big thing that they did with this 2-liter turbocharged motor versus the previous generation, there's less turbo lag. It feels almost like a naturally aspirated 200 horsepower motor. But when you get on it, it definitely goes pretty quick. Now, another thing that makes this car well worth its price of 25 grand new is the DSG transmission. A lot of manufacturers are trying these dual clutch transmissions out. Well, Volkswagen's been putting them in cars as early as the 2006 GTI. So Volkswagen's basically got it mastered. This thing shifts extremely quick, and again, it's tough to find such a good transmission in a car that's only really around $25,000. Now we're at a stoplight here. I'm gonna give it the full gas from a go. It just ripped the tires in first gear, and we're already at 60 miles an hour. So the Jetta GLI really does go into 60. It's a very quick car, and it's a fun car. It's not fair. It's not fair. All right. Now that we're going way too fast for this public street, I get it. It's not fair. It's not fair. You guys have already wrote it in the comment section below. If you did, go ahead. You can go and edit it. It's fine. I forgive you. But I know we're doing an unfair comparison here. This Audi S3 is unreal compared to the Jetta GLI. And see, one big issue with the Jetta GLI is the character is out of the car. Everybody thinks you're buying a GTI. And to me, it just feels like a really upscale economy car. I hate to call the Jetta an economy car. I love the Jetta. I've had a couple Jettas, but the days of the VR6 six-speed Jettas, they're gone. I remember when the Lagoon Blue Jetta GLI was out. I wanted that in the worst way. Again, going back to first cars. It didn't happen. I didn't get it. And I never actually ended up owning that specific car. I did have a VR6 Jetta later on, and back then those cars had a ton of character. Of course it had an outrageous blue color, a 6-speed transmission. It had the old version of the 1.8 liter turbo that has been reintroduced in the last few years to a lot of Volkswagen cars, and actually the A3. But what the S3 has that the GLI lost is character. You see, the S3, it feels like a Golf R because it is a Golf R, but the GTI and the GLI are very misunderstood. Everybody thinks when they're buying a GLI, they're getting a GTI sedan. Volkswagen wants you to think that, but through various use of many different Volkswagen vehicles over the last especially few years, I can just tell you, the Jetta GLI has lost its character, and it's unfortunate. So if you're hoping for a head-to-head, you already came in knowing the answer. The S3, it's a pretty awesome car. You can make it drive around town like it's the boring Jetta GLI, yet when you put it into dynamic mode, it gets super fun, it gets super quick. Of course it's got all-wheel drive. Of course it launches like absolute mad. Basically, the Audi S3 with a tune and a downpipe becomes really ridiculously fast for a 4-cylinder car. Modify the turbo, give it some alternative fuel, and you've got a legitimate rocket ship that is going 0 to 60 in the very, very low threes. But then we just took our $50,000 or $60,000 S3 and turned it into a $70,000 or $80,000 S3, which is something I can't ever recommend. The Jetta GLI really still is an awesome car. I think even though it lacks character, it has way more character than its Japanese counterparts. When Audi came out with the A3, it was an option to get the 2-liter turbo engine that's in the Jetta GLI. So if you're looking at, let's say, a couple-year-old Audi A3 and comparing it to a maybe year or two newer Jetta GLI, but the Audi has the 1.8-liter turbo, it's not even a comparison. Yes, this car feels better. It's got nicer interior. It's got nicer gauges. It's got this pop-out screen that has Google Maps, Bluetooth. It's got this funny thing where you can draw letters, and I never use it because honestly, I can just talk to it and say, hey, call this person, which the Volkswagen also has. On paper, the two cars really do look and feel identical as far as the turbocharged engines go, the DSG transmissions go. A lot of the features, Audi does it prettier, but not necessarily a lot better. And in my opinion, if I had to come out and spend the cash on a new A3 or a Jetta GLI, the Jetta would get the money every single day. I actually think the Jetta is a value proposition. It's a lot of car in the mid-20s. I love the Jetta GLI for what it is. The GLI is the closest thing you're gonna get to the feeling of a GTI, but in a 4-door and very practical, reliable, and economical sedans. If the question were, would I buy this over a high-trim A3 that, again, is still gonna cost you almost double the price, I'd probably buy the Jetta. The Jetta is a well-rounded car. It's a great car. Yes, it's not all-wheel drive, but especially if you're just buying the 200 horsepower variant, I don't know that it's exactly necessary. Now, if you're in a colder climate and need that all-wheel drive, I understand. As you can see, I'm sitting here in sunny Florida. We don't even care about all-wheel drive unless it has to do with launches. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. If you have any questions, as always, be sure to reach out to me. Everything you need to contact me is in the description box below. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I come out with another one of these videos. I have some very fun projects planned in the near future. I hope you guys join along with me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you very soon.